Welcome back. This is Off by One, and you're watching part 3 of my One Factory Any Potion tutorial. Okay, next up we have the control circuit. I realized whilst editing I didn't actually cover the readiness indicator here. I know we've gone over quite a bit of the rest of this now, so I won't bore you by going over the details again. But the readiness indicator, as it suggests, provides an indication as to whether you can request another potion. If you were to try and create another potion when another one was in progress, you might mess up the recipe. So this basically serves as a, hey, I'm done with everything, go ahead and request your next potion. Now here it's set up purely as a visual indicator, however this does actually output a redstone signal. So if you want to hook this up to a request system or anything else that might in turn drive this, that's absolutely something you could do. And say you even wanted to measure the levels in a tank and request after a certain point when the levels drop, this could help you with that. So with that out of the way, let's actually get into the rest of the redstone behind this. I'm going to use the rose quartz lamps here for the readiness indicator functionality. However, it's worth noting you don't specifically need that if you don't care for it. This will work perfectly fine to create a given type of potion with just a regular button press going into a block. However, I think the readiness indicator is a nice addition, so it's worth adding if you can afford it. Okay, so out the back of a readiness indicator, we want to place 3 pulse repeaters, or at least 1 pulse repeater for each recipe that we want. I'm placing 3 because I'm going to replicate what I had here, 3 recipes. After a pulse repeater, now I do note that's the create pulse repeater, we want a regular Minecraft redstone repeater set to 4 ticks. Now the 4 ticks part is important because if you don't set that to 4 ticks, these smart chutes won't activate for long enough for items to pass through. So it does need to be 4 ticks on there. Then you place a block and I realize I don't have a redstone link, and a redstone link for each ingredient that you want to add at this first stage. One thing worth noting is for the very first one, it's quite likely that all of these, if not most of them, or most if not all of these, will be the same ingredient, nether wart. So one thing you can do here is run a line of redstone beneath the block, running into a single redstone link, and place your blocks on top. And that basically lets you use far less redstone links than you otherwise would have to, at least for this first common stage. For the next one, it's a little bit different, and really is only a little bit different. You want to set these to however long a delay you need between each stage. So if you're running this at a really high speed, as I am in this example, 128 and 192 I believe, then 4 seconds is all you need between each of these. So I'm going to set this to 4 seconds. If you are running at a slower speed, say 64 rotations per minute, then you can probably get off with 6 seconds. Any slower than that, I don't have specific numbers for, but 6 seconds is a good ballpark for 64 RPM. Okay, same thing again, 4 ticks on these. Next row, and then again. Same with your 4 seconds for your next ingredient. And then only your last row will be any different. Now here I'm doing an example with 3 base ingredients. If you have 4 base ingredients or higher, you can just keep adding lines for each that you need. only the first one is 2 ticks. Every line after that for the core ingredients will be 4 seconds if it's running super fast like this, or 6 seconds if you're running at 64 RPM. Anyway, our last line, we're going to, for our last line, we're going to run a line of redstone like so. And this is going to run into a pulse repeater yet again. However, this pulse repeater is going to be for a slightly different time. I think this one is 5 seconds. Followed by a pulse extender, not a redstone repeater, a pulse extender this time. And this will also be set to 5 seconds. So you want to mirror this essentially to whatever value you have here. Now, if you're running it slower, again, like 64 RPM or thereabouts, then you'll want to make this 7 seconds instead. Out of this one, you'll have a block, another block, and another block. So you should have a sort of L shape. You then want to place yet another pulse repeater, and this one should be 6 seconds, 7 seconds rather, because it takes slightly longer to fill the buckets than it does to empty them. Followed by another pulse extender set to 7 seconds. Let's get this light back. You then want a redstone torch. Realize I don't have one on me. Here like so. And you want another one here also. Now you want to place a final pulse repeater here, and this will run into a block with another block beside it like that. And then on top of these, you want to place a redstone link, a redstone link, a redstone link, and a redstone link. So it should look like that overall. And then finally, you just want to place a powered latch. Now note, this is not a powered toggle latch, it's just a regular powered latch. Here like so. If you use a toggle latch here, this won't work. Now instead of showing you the specific values to put in each of those, I'm going to show you the one that I built earlier, because it's far easier to compare to a working example. So you can see we start with the potion empty function. So that is the function to pull the water or pull the potions out into our tanks. We then run into our bucket fill or our water fill function. So water from the source back into the basins. We then send a brief pulse simultaneously to our indicator, the readiness indicator, which resets the circuit here. And it also untoggles this latch, which moves the basins back into position. So at the same time that the bucket emptying starts, or the potion emptying starts, we also move the basins into position so that it can actually pull the fluid out. And that's pretty much all there is to it. The only other thing that you need to know is that there should be a receiver on the back here corresponding to this redstone link here. And that'll do it. Okay, that's it for this part. Before we finish up, I just want to point out the links in the description. You'll find part 0, the demo, along with parts 1, 2 and 3 of the tutorial there, along with links to the schematic so you can try it out for yourself. If this video has been in any way useful, please give it a like or drop a comment. As you can see, this is still a very small channel, and every little bit helps. I won't pester you to subscribe here, but do consider checking out my other videos. I try to upload at least every fortnight. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next one.